Fastest way to the scoreboard is by launching, and the Tigers did that 5 times, a season high last night. Dylan Dingler, Kerry Carpenter, Riley Green, Dylan Dingler again. Then How You Lee, 5 long balls, and the Tigers needed every last one of them. Yesterday evening, Will Vest with a gutty performance after an error to get the final 5 outs untouched and secure a 10-9 victory in the series opener here at Tropicana Field by the Bay. Tigers baseball is presented by Bet365, and off that barrage, we welcome back another piece of the offense. Not us. Jason Benetti, Dan Petrie, Logan Reaver is downstairs. Who's back is Gleyber Torres. His first game in the big leagues in exactly a month, Dan.
Yeah, and Kerry Carpenter paid dividends right away, energizing the middle of the order. He went 4 for 7 with a home run last night. Gleyber Torres is going to have the same kind of energy to the top of the order, especially with he and Kevin McGonigal together. When they're the two, when they're 1-2, depending upon who the pitcher is, he's just going to ignite the entire offense, and this is starting to be the offense that we saw earlier in the year.
And that is good news for the Tigers, who are going to have to dig out of it. Today is Lou Gehrig Day around Major League Baseball. We've got our End ALS shirt. AJ Hinch had on one of those shirts as well before the game. And before we get to one more thing in first pitch, here is a remembrance here on Lou Gehrig Day.
For 2,130 games, he was the heartbeat of the Yankees. The captain, the Iron Horse, a glowing symbol of unshakable strength and resolve.
Lou, I want to congratulate you on your wonderful career without missing a game.
But in 1939, Lou Gehrig announced he was facing his toughest opponent. ALS took his career and eventually his life, but it could never touch his spirit.
I might have been given a bad break, but I've got an awful lot to live for.
Today, Gehrig's legacy lives on in every stadium, in every player, and every broadcast booth, as Major League Baseball stands shoulder to shoulder with the ALS community.
It's unbelievable what the impact of that disease has had on so many people.
Raising funds for research, supporting families, and searching for the cure that ends this disease forever. Today, we play for number 4. Today, we play for the cure. And until the final out is made against ALS, we will never stop fighting.
Early with Bet365.
Tigers baseball on this Lou Gehrig Day on Detroit Sportsnet is brought to you by Bet365, where winning is everything. By McDonald's of Michigan. Grab a $5 McChicken meal today. By Rally House Michigan. It's your city, it's your house, it's the Rally House. And by Steel. Find your local Steel dealer at steelusa.com. On this Lou Gehrig Day, we take a look back at how his career in this building, the Weston Book Cadillac, will forever be intertwined as part of his story. This building opened its doors back in 1924. At the time, it was the world's tallest building. It also featured Italian Renaissance design that was next level. It was the home to presidents, infamous gangsters, Hollywood stars, and even some baseball players. It would be 15 years later that the hotel would become immortalized in baseball lore. The New York Yankees first baseman would go down the grand staircase where he would then collapse. Gehrig told his manager while he was sitting at one of the hotel bars that he was taking himself out of the lineup against the Tigers, breaking a streak of 2,130 consecutive games played. He would later be diagnosed with ALS, also known as Lou Gehrig's disease. While the story is unfortunate and tragic, it is also a reminder of how deep the roots between Detroit and baseball really runs. And the research for ALS in a lot of ways started that exact day with Lou Gehrig. Now the Tigers and the Rays on this day, they celebrate his legacy.
Tigers baseball is presented by Figer Law. Big win last night for the Tigers. They'll try and be the first team in 7 series to win a set here at Tropicana Field against the Rays. And here is the starting lineup for the Tigers. It's brought to you by the Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. The Tigers will see Steven Matz changeup. So Gleyber Torres and the crew will have slugging versus changeup on the lineup here. Dylan Dingler, 524. Torque, 538. Some big numbers. Zach Short in some short time at 833. Matz is throwing that changeup more than ever, the former New York Met.
Yeah, Steven Matz, he was roughed up his last outing in Baltimore, giving up 6 runs in just 3 innings of work.
And his first pitch is inside. Called a ball by California native Mark Ripperger. Gleyber Torres first at bat in a month for the Tigers, goes 2-0, and here he goes again.
That's it.
Pitches.
That's exactly what he does. Matz has that 4-seam, or the standard 4-pitch mix: sinker, slider, curveball, and aforementioned changeup. That changeup has been his best pitch, with opponents hitting just 167 against it.
He's a 35-year-old left-hander who was a second-round pick of the Mets in 2009. They had that great young talent come through their rotation with guys like DeGrom and Syndergaard and that whole class. Zach Wheeler as well. As Matz misses there, 3 balls and a strike on Gleyber, who's got, just to remind you, more walks than strikeouts for his season so far before that oblique injury. 3-1 is charged up, high and deep, left center field. Gleyber Torres, welcome back. Big smiles in that dugout.
Are you kidding me? He was talking about his timing being off in those first 2 games on his rehabilitation assignment. It doesn't seem like there was any timing issues on that one.
I mean, 3-1 pitch. See you later.
Yeah. I'm not going to take it and work a walk, a measly walk. I'm putting this on the board right away.
I mean,
see, you know, Carey paid off dividends, and here's Gleyber right away too. Now again, 3-1. That's what Gleyber does. Works it down and in. That sinker. Boy, look at him catch it right out in front. 433 feet. That's Dylan Dingler territory out there.
Oh boy, Matt Vierling. Left center field, way back again, into the alleyway it goes. It'll bounce on the warning track and give him a chance to think about 3. He is there. I'll say it again like last night. Who are these guys?
I mean, there's a magnet out there. I mean, this is almost the same exact spot. Same pitch, elevated. Matt Vierling wants to get in the action. You see how fired up Matt Vierling is when he slides into third base. Some kind of fired up. About 10 runs last night and off to a great start here. Yeah, I love it. Give him that fist pump there.
That looks a lot like that run he scored against the Rays in 2024 at home.
At home when he scored, yep, came up and kind of head first slide into home, came up and that fist bump.
1-0 on Dingler. Dylan lines this left center field, falling quickly, and the reach by Mesa to make the catch. But here comes run number 2, and the Tigers trade 1 out for 2 runs. That's a deal you'll accept.
Yeah, Dylan Dingler again hitting the ball hard and not going to let an RBI escape his grasp. Boy, Mesa did a nice job out running that ball.
Riley Green's like, all right, maybe I'll hit one 470 feet while we're at it.
Not sitting around waiting. I get a sinker that I like and looks good, I'm taking a rip.
I mean, okay, so the end of 2024 was one of the most magical rides. The end of 2025 was a bizarre downturn that nobody ever wants to go on again. And then May was the same kind of thing. And now, last day plus, the Tigers look like they're going to score 8 runs a game again. It's 2-0 in the first inning, right? Let's not put the cart before the horse. But this is the team people tuned in to see at the beginning of the year.
But it's just like, it's no coincidence, though, that it's starting, like you said, to be the team that you thought it was. You know, they know Skubal is on the doorstep. You don't know exactly when, but he's close. Justin Verlander's on a rehab assignment tonight. Gleyber Torres, Kerry Carpenter back.
Strike 3, Riley knew it, 2 down. That's why you really wish, say the Tigers would have won maybe like 4 more games in May. Say you're 27-34 today. You would be hanging around right where like the Orioles and the Blue Jays are. And that is extremely playable in the American League. The question that will pervade for the next month and a half, if the Tigers play well, was the hole too big that they dug? That's the question that will pop up.
And the Tigers don't want to hear any of it. I mean,
nope.
we ask it and we say, boy, it's, you know, they got their work cut out for them, but they're like, hey, we got a chance to do something special here.
On the ground toward third to the backhand side, Caminero. We're out number 3, but a homer for Gleyber Torres just as he walks back on a Major League Baseball diamond. Matt Vierling follows with a triple and a primal scream, a rebel yell, and a 2-0 lead in Tampa.
She rides a 2-wheeler.
Bottom of the first inning, 2-0 Tigers over the Rays after a 2-run first for Detroit. This is whip rate for the Tampa Bay Rays. They've been great at drawing walks in the past couple weeks. 47% whips last start for Jack Flaherty. So small numbers in there. We'll see how he can do in that category against Chandler Simpson first, who looked a bit like a Treehouse of Horror episode when he left the game yesterday with the helmet that hit him in the face as he takes strike 1.
Yeah, just won't forget that image of him just holding his hand up and just shaking his head like, no, I am not all right.
Glad to see him back in the lineup after a kind of a gruesome scene as Jack drops in strike 2 for him.
Jack's velocity was up on all 3 of those pitches, his main pitches, the 4-seam slider and curveball, and I think that had a lot to do with his 9 strikeouts.
There's one right here on a curveball. And that'll be it for Simpson, 1 away. Jack Flaherty, our wall side windows starting pitcher. That whip rate was enormous, as you see, at 26% or so. He'd like that to hover closer to what he did last start.
Yeah, and 20 swings and misses he got, the majority of them on those 4 pitches, the 4-seam, the slider, and the curveball. But the thing that impressed me, too, was working ahead, where he was walking a lot of people in his previous starts. The last 2, he's had a lot better control.
And he staked to a 2-0 lead here today. Now, the Tigers did have, kind of surprisingly, they had 8 first-inning leads in May. Tigers, though, only paid off 3 of those 8 with wins. And Jack also tonight, Dan, it's imperative he brings length to the party. The Tigers bullpen is pretty beleaguered after last night.
And that's as a starting pitcher, you take pride in that, knowing that the team is a little bit, you know, the bullpen is a little bit spent, and knowing that, hey, you know, yeah, there's help down there, but I'd like to take care of a majority of this game myself, and just, hey, the boys got you off to a good start. Hopefully, just like last night, they continue to get those add-on runs, and that'll just energize Jack even more to go deeper into the game.
1-2 from it is fouled away. But that's where the whiff rate and the strikeout rate sometimes can be an enemy. Yeah, you'd like to not have contact, but when that pitch count rises along with strikeouts, you end up changing the bullpen structure.
Right. Yeah, you can't chase them. Can't chase the strikeouts. Just keep making your pitches.
Check swing. No go. 2-2 on Caminero.
And the other thing there, too, that I thought Jack did a really good job on his last outing was the command, where he sat in the strike zone. It's one thing to throw a lot of strikes, but where are you throwing them? He was living on the edges.
Up the middle, Jack gets out of the way. The bag gets out of the way. Gleyber Torres makes way for out number 2. StatCast 3D powered by Google Cloud on those swings and misses you're talking about in total from Jack Flaherty from each side.
Yeah, both. You got 7 from the left, 13 on the right for the total of 20. But you can see a lot of them staying away from the middle. Sure, there's some that are in the middle, especially the four-seam fastball with that added velocity at the top. You're going to get swings and misses, but really living on the edges.
You know, it's interesting. This is quite the battle that Zach Zollers, our graphics guru, dug up. Coming into this series, as we've seen the Tigers pepper home runs, this is the battle between the steepest swings in baseball and the flattest swings in Major League Baseball. The Tigers are the steepest, and as we know, the first cut is the steepest. And the Rays are the flattest swings. We'll see what that presents to Jack Flaherty today as he misses inside 2-1.
I'm just happy I got that little pun that you threw out there. I got that one. I'm happy.
Try to love again.
Yeah, you know.
But it's a great bit of research. You know, not every team does things the same way, as that's vaulted high in the air into right center field. Matt Vierling makes the catch, and the inning is over. Tigers by a pair.
Quality.
Steven Matz has allowed multiple runs in the first inning of consecutive starts for the first time since 2019. That's 7 years since Steven Matz was in his second to last year with the New York Mets. He played at home at that point. He's from Ward Melville High School on Long Island. And he's the second guy on the road trip the Tigers have faced from that high school. From Kevin James High School, the King of Queens went to Ward Melville. They were all Ward Melville Patriots.
Who was the other? Who was the other one?
Anthony Kay.
Okay.
From the White Sox. There's a line drive left field. That's just foul. Torque just couldn't straighten it out enough.
Just a little bit out in front of that changeup.
We may see another Ward Melville guy later on in the season. Ben Brown of the Cubs is an alumnus as well. And the former punter in the NFL, Todd Sauerbrunn. For you 90s NFL fans. 2-2 is grounded foul. Two and two. Fouled away.
I just keep thinking about that slider from Steven Matz, kind of working its way into torque about belt high. Just visions of him getting one of those at some point in the game today. Or a slow curveball in the center of the plate.
Or a slow curveball in the center of the plate.
Right. Just working its way back in.
Three and two. That ball's drilled to left field by Torque. Very well struck off the top of the wall. Rolling by Simpson, and Torque will cruise into second base. The Tigers have turned the Trop into a trampoline the last 2 days.
Well, how about these approaches? You know, knowing really that there's just saying, you know what, Steven Matz isn't going to throw the ball by me, so we just need to stay back. Gets a 3-2 changeup and rifles it into left field. Instead of just being over anxious, thinking, okay, I'm going to get that fastball, just staying back and waiting for something slow.
Now Wencel Perez takes ball one. Three hits, all for extra bases tonight for the Tigers. A homer, a triple, and a double, and now ball two. You know, you watch the Tigers for a 10-game span over the past 3 years, and what do you learn? Maybe not a whole lot. It takes a month to figure out what you're looking at, but this is the type of offense that we expected to see coming out of spring training, and it's flipped very quickly.
And it's probably a lot of, they're looking at it, the Tigers, the players themselves are looking at it and starting to see the people around them and just like, man, I believe in this group. This is the same group that lit it up last year. They always talk about it, the lengthening of that lineup, not just a couple of little pockets, but that length now.
Strong changeup there, 3-2 on Perez. Action already starting in the Tampa Bay bullpen, by the way. It is the second.
Yeah, Kevin Cash certainly doesn't like what he's seeing so far from Steven Matz, and just like you said, just the extra base hits that are popping off the bats.
There's another one. Deep drive, left field. This is gone. Another barrage from the Tigers. It's 4-0.
Yeah, it's that just center cut sinker, and Steven Matz had thrown a changeup 3-1 that Wencel was way out in front, kind of indicating to me that he was hunting a fastball, and instead of doubling up on the changeup, said, okay, I'll go to the fastball. But Wencel was looking for it and hammered it into left field for the 2-run homer. I mean, he's just sitting fastball, got it and didn't miss it.
This is a wild turn of events in this series for a Rays team that had lost 6 times at home all year before this series started. Matz is shaken.
When you look at Kevin Cash and Kyle Snyder over there, and those kind of are the looks that you saw in A.J. Hinch and Chris Fetter so many times.
Ground ball first base, and McKinstry is out. Look, the Tigers before yesterday's game had scored 16 total runs in the last 6 games. 16 total runs in the last 6 games. They scored 15 total runs in the last 6 games prior to that.
Yeah, what, 5 against the White Sox.
Correct.
Yeah.
So the last 2 6-game spans, we're talking, what, 26 runs? Before 14 runs in 11 innings.
11 innings. And there's a lot of fun being had down in that Tiger dugout. And you know what? They're just taking it as being loose. And we said it yesterday. I mean, it's just a team that just refuses to quit. You know that they're going to come and continue to work hard. And you might as well be loose. I mean, being tight and pressing isn't going to do you any good.
Between May 16th and May 31st, The Tigers went 2-12 and scored 31 runs.
And almost half of them.
Yeah, almost half of them
in 11 innings.
11 innings. Try and add on for some more. Zach Short gives it a ride, left center field. That landing spot is on the warning track, and he'll take his double. The Tigers are pelting the Rays. Downstairs to Logan.
I'm cracking up because a conversation I had with Gleyber Torres ahead of his return, we were asking if he was going to place, any extra pressure on himself, with the way the offense had been going previously. He says he doesn't want to try to be a hero, and then he used the exact example. I can hit a homer and we still lose. It's all about passing the baton to the next guy, and that's something Riley Green said maybe 2 or 3 times during his postgame interview, passing the baton. And so you notice right after Gleyber had that homer, Matt Vierling triple, they are certainly passing the baton tonight.
Big time. Big time. Homer, triple, double homer is the way the Tigers have started each of the first 2 innings.
There's another one of those, one right out by the St. Pete Clearwater sign. That magnet, I mean, that's what, 4 balls hit out into that area in just today's game with Dylan Dingler last night. Something really attracting the Tigers hitters out to that area.
It's an alluring sign. Very nice design. Welcoming design.
It's caution. Caution.
Maybe the Tigers are really into tourism.
Just peppering that sign.
Maybe move it in 10 feet.
Yeah.
Maybe they're all homers.
Right, that's exactly right where it juts out there.
2-1 to Torres. Way outside. This is not going to be a long night for Steven Matz.
No, and that Rays bullpen is a little beaten up too.
Trevor Martin threw 43 pitches yesterday.
And they expend a lot of energy against the Angels.
It's a bullpen that had gotten knocked around some coming into this series.
Yeah, they're into that change in pieces back and forth from AAA Durham also.
3-2 fouled away. Last 16 games entering this series, the Rays bullpen had a 6.30 ERA. 3-2 is an irritant to Matz. So Gleyber Torres now has seen 12 pitches in his first 2 at bats. That's his deal.
That's what he does. But it's so much more too. I mean, high on base percentage. But that's not just it. Yeah, draw an occasional walk and everything. It's what he did. You get a little too comfortable and just saying, well, I got to throw him strikes. You got to remember that he's a good hitter.
3-2 is a swing and a miss on a sinker buried inside. 2 down. Matt Vierling will bat, and time now for the Call Sam best call, which is that. A lot of hard hit baseball.
Yeah, that's just tonight. I mean, there was a bunch of them last night.
Yeah, it's been a dynamite series. Oh, 1. You know, this isn't that big of an at bat at 4-0, but maybe one more hit knocks him out.
Yeah, and you don't know. You got Dylan Dingler up next, but you don't know if this is it. Just finish the inning.
Line drive left field. This sits down. It's going to be 5-0 in mere moments. Short is home. Vierling has a triple and a double. It's 5-0 Tigers. The faucet is wide open. And that is going to be it. The Vierling hit does force Kevin Cash into the bullpen. At 5-0, it was a bridge too far, and the Tigers offense has reeled the Rays. Oh, baby.
And setting up, you just get into that bullpen early, and it sets things up really good for tomorrow's game also.
Five-zip Tigers, they have had a distinct plan tonight against Steven Matz.
They sure have. Lots of good at-bats. But this last one by Matt Vierling, talk about just knowing that he can't throw it by him and looking for something off speed. That was a little late on that previous fastball, and he swung through it. He comes right back with a curveball, and Matt Vierling is all over it. Just looking for something slower, and he got it and didn't miss it.
Casey Legumina is in to get the final out of the top of the second inning. But the Tigers had 5 homers yesterday. They've got 2 in 2 innings today. Wencel Perez goes yard. 5-zip Tigers.
Is win.
Tigers starting defense brought to you by Marygrove Awnings. Goes like this. Green, Vierling, Perez, McKinstry in short, the double Zach left side of the infield, Torres and Torkelson on the right side, and Dylan Dingler has the plate. 2 Zachs, 2 last names that start with T, and DD. Follow?
Follow.
I'm not going to take a quiz. First pitch to Yandy Diaz. Here's a strike. Jack Flaherty's just had to sit on the bench for a while and stew while the Tigers.
He'll take it.
Yeah, Yandy tips it foul. It's 2 strikes on Diaz, and we told you about the flattest swings in terms of path for a team in Major League Baseball. Yandy Diaz is the type of guy who puts that swing path, and if you could put it into a jar and bottle it up, you do it for guys who are contact hitters. He doesn't swing and miss much. He doesn't strike out much, and he still keeps some power. Floated foul.
Well, it still looks like, Jack, we talked about in the first inning, just living on the edges. And that's what you have to do. You treat it, just because it's a 5-0 lead, you still have to treat it that it's early. It's still 0-0. Just continue to make and hit your spots. Don't get careless. Let anybody just jump right back in the game.
And that advice lingers from yesterday.
Yes.
In a game that was, oh, there's strike 3. Diaz gives a look back behind the plate at Mark Rippiger. If he doesn't like it, he can challenge it. I mean, that's the thing about all this, right? If I'm an umpire this year and that stuff starts to happen, I would say back, tap your head.
Yeah, it's too late now. I mean, you got to do it right away. You don't like it. Let's see, just doesn't think. Now you look back, it's too late. 2001, 2002, 2003, yeah.
Yeah, and even if you give him the 2-1000 after the punch out, you know, you have to have the wherewithal to decide to do it. Honestly, I've said it before, this shows how good umpires are at their job, because they have to make a call on every pitch. But also, I'd start ejecting people who look back too much when they have challenges available. If you're gonna waste time when you can just change it right then, that is much more showing an umpire up than anything. This is launched to right field, and that is down all the way to the wall. Richie Palacios has a double with 1 out in the second.
Boy, this just took this curveball right off the ground. It's one of those ones that goes down and into the lefty, though, and he's able to get down with that barrel. Shoot it down the right field line. Jack just says, all right, okay, let's just make this into no damage.
Here's Ryan Valade. Takes a strike. Valade was part of the reason they jumped back in that game. It was 8-2. His 3-run homer in the middle of the game made it 8-5 and put some game pressure on the Tigers. Oh, 1. Jack's been all over the strike zone.
Yeah, and it's so good to see just attacking that strike zone, because that early in the season, again, the last 2 starts, he said, you know, limited the walks and just getting ahead, but boy, that was just so uncharacteristic, the high walk rate.
Doesn't get the chase there. 1-2 on Valade.
Dylan Dingler just smothering that ball too. We were talking about Fortes, wasn't it, last night, that made those great stops, just throwing his body at it. And there's Dylan Dingler just smothering that to keep the runner at second base.
Oh, that is just disgusting. A syrupy curveball that took a while to get there.
Boy, but it just freezes. Valade almost starts right at him. Give up on it. Kind of, jackknifing out of the way, and then realizing, oh boy, knows it right away. That just comes out of the hand, and you think it's going to be one of those fastballs. Do I need to get out of the way? And then you can't pull the trigger. It just keeps biting right over the middle of the plate.
That's one of those curveballs you think you have it figured out, and as it crosses the plate, you go sassafras.
Take your hat off.
Mine.
So our Chevy's strongest player is the Tigers from right now, because for the first time since a game in Cleveland in 2000, the Tigers have a double, triple, and homer without a single through the first 2 innings. It's a very specific stat, but it's a stat nonetheless. It was off of Dave Burba. Remember Dave Burba,
yeah,
formerly of the Giants? He was pitching for Cleveland at the time. The Tigers won that game 13-2, including 3 runs in the first inning on June 26, 2000. Brad Ausmus hit a homer. Tony Clark had an RBI ground out. Juan Gonzalez tripled. And then the double to lead off the second inning to finish off the categories was Juan Encarnacion. That was all in support of Brian Moeller, who picked up the victory. 1-2 is a swing and miss, strike 3. Riley Green is down. That's one of those stats you look at, you go, who made it a salad?
But I was looking back and I'm saying, you know, you got a pretty good chance for a team cycle here in the first 2 innings. That's even better. Go back to 2000 to achieve that.
Again, though, we talked about how important small ball can be. Big swings can change the game too. I mean, George Carlin used to do the bit about how, you know, everybody says it's the quiet ones you got to watch. He goes, no, it's the loud ones that you got to watch. The ones that are screaming at you that you got to watch. That's what the Tigers have done the last couple days.
Yeah, I would say that there certainly is a place for people like Luis Arraez and guys that, you know, get on base, but it's those big swings that change the scoreboard and do the most damage. I mean, Earl Weaver always used to talk about with the Baltimore Orioles, the 3-run homer.
Yes.
Pitching defense and the 3-run homer. And that goes back a long way. You know, that's just not now. That's been something that he's been talking about for the last 40 years.
So when you hit a home run this year, you're at 598. You win 60% of the time. If you hit 0 home runs, you win 1/3 of the time. Strike 3. 2 down. That's why teams chase it.
And they don't mind. That's why the batting average is, you know, certainly, yeah, it's still important, but, you know, they're going to take the home runs and the RBIs, the slugging, the OPS, getting on base. It's just, we talked about it last night, just how difficult it is to string together 3 singles in an inning. And that's why the Tigers are so aggressive on the bases, trying to go from first to third, or take the extra base and stretch something into a double, or score from second. Why Joey Cora is so aggressive sending people at third base. If you're not hitting the ball out of the ballpark, you've got to be aggressive on those base hits.
And if you're doing both, you're probably
Yes.
a playoff team.
Right.
Like that, and you're probably going to win more than you lose in the postseason if you're doing both. 3-0. That's a strike on Torque, who doubled to left in the second.
Because when you are in the playoffs and you're going up against those nasty rotations, you may not hit as many home runs, so you need to manufacture some runs until somebody does pop one.
That's well hit. That's a line drive base hit. The first single for the Tigers comes as hit number 7 of the game.
Spencer Torkelson with a couple of shots in his first 2 at-bat, a double and a single.
There's Wencel Perez, who planted a ball deep to left his first time. Now he spins around and bats from the left-hand side. After the Tigers bounce Steven Matz from the game in 11 batters.
And Legumina too, just he's got like a starting arsenal. Also 5 pitches. Will throw a lot more changeups to the left-handed hitters. There's that one right there. Won't throw that changeup to the right-handers, but I think that's why he's in there to try to give Kevin Cash and the Rays some length. And he's got 5 pitches, both the fastball, the slider, and sweeper.
High fly ball left field. Simpson on the move to the line. That's a fair baseball. That is out number 3. Tigers maintain a 5-0 lead on the Bet365 scoreboard.
Toyota, let's go places.
Jack Flaherty gets back to work here against the Rays, and talked to A.J. Hinch earlier, who joked because coming off of last night's game and using the 7 different pitchers, he said Jack has always wanted to go 9 innings. Well, tonight would be your night to try to go it, but in this situation, probably best case scenario as they continue to try to eat away at the innings. But for Jack himself, he's always in his element when the competition is at its best, when he's at his most aggressive. Even tonight, he's gotten up 0-2 or 1-2 4 different times over the course of it, and AJ has said that he's always really good at resetting. Every single start, good or bad, it's about resetting. Whenever he's competitive, aggressive, that's the best version of Jack. It's just getting that deep into the games is the next step.
And the good news, Logan, is that the last 3 starts for Jack Flaherty, though they have been losses, he's allowed only 1 walk in those last 3 starts, which signals that he's being more aggressive in the strike zone. 2-0 on Fiducia, the catcher who swings through a fastball.
And there's a lot of things that go through your mind when you say, okay, well, I'll be aggressive in the strike zone, and you get lit up and you're saying, oh, now what? I was aggressive in the strike zone, but you know, people were hitting it. So then you start dancing around a little bit, and then you fall behind, then you go in the strike zone and you get hit a little bit. So it's just that talked about hitting the edges, staying away from the middle of the plate.
3-1, misses the middle and misses the edge both. It's ball 4 to Fiducia, and Williamson will bat with 1 on here in the 3rd.
And just Jack right now, just staying out of the middle of the plate, staying down, staying on the edges, and getting ahead. And then throwing pitches like that when they're not looking for it.
And now here's one of those, Logan talks about resetting, right? Got to reset. The strike zone has eluded him in 5 of the last 6 pitches. And he does. A strike, 1-1 on Williamson.
And those are the kind of things that I'm saying as you get into a hitter's count where you miss and go to 1-0, and that's a good 1-0 pitch. That's not right down the middle. That's on the edge. And so much too is Jack is his mechanics. When he's out of sorts, he just keeps fighting it a little bit, and that's where the velocity drops down, because he's searching to get back into those smooth mechanics, all his body parts working together. And if he can be smooth, he can throw pitches like that right on the edges. Just missed.
It's 2-2 for Williamson, the Mariners transplant. Fiducia at first. Nobody out, third inning. 2-2. Guided on the ground into center field. A base hit for Williamson. Fiducia to second. And now a second glance at the top of the order for Flaherty.
Yeah, just a slider that just stays up. Just a little bit flat. See Jack jumping up like, go right at somebody. He realizes it's going to be up the middle. I don't like that. Yep. But it also, it just goes back to that leadoff walk. AJ was talking about it, just talking about last night's game, all those walks that led to the Rays comeback. Just starts that big inning when it's the bottom of the order and it flips over to the top.
First pitch, bunt shown. And speaking of that top of the order, Zach Zollers, our research guru, also dug up that the Rays 1 through 4 hitters coming into the series at the third best OPS in all of Major League Baseball entering this series. So you're reaching the danger zone in this lineup. Simpson didn't like that fastball to bunt. 1-1.
Yeah, 2 pitches in a row. Sometimes you just kind of bluff one. Hitters will do that. They'll bluff one thinking that, oh, okay, I can come right back down the middle, which Jack did. But you kind of bait him into it, getting a good pitch, and you go hammer it.
Not that one, though. He tried and he missed. It's 1-2. Thank you.
Well, he knows that he can fly. But at the same time, just thinking that, okay, the worst thing that's going to happen, I'll get runners at second and third and 1 out.
One, 2. Downstairs, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Even Jack's response to receiving the ball back there, like he held the glove over his head for a second. He tosses the ball into his hand, and he's deep in thought, you can tell. 2-2. Now Yelt's up there. 3 balls, 2 strikes. If there's any time for the reset button Logan was talking about, it's right now.
It is, and it was the pitch before that kind of angered him. It was like, okay, I was out of sorts, and that should have been a cue as to how to get back into it, and he missed badly.
He gets in there and gets a fly ball to left field. That's Riley Green, and that's out number 1, and that is a huge pitch for the possibilities of length for Jack Flaherty in this game.
You know, the other thing too is just any time that you can get Chandler Simpson, I think, to hit the ball in the air, you're very happy with the speed that he has. He's going to put the ball in play, and if it sneaks through a hole, but he's going to be difficult to double up. If you can get him to hit soft fly balls, all the better.
He's 58% ground ball for the year.
Yes.
58. That's like the Gas House Gang Cardinals. Just
hacking and slashing.
Ball, yeah.
Yep.
Left side. Get him on, get him over, get him in. 1-0 on Caminero. That is the slider that Jack can really neutralize righties with.
Yeah, and you see Caminero, he wasn't swinging at a slider. He was hunting a 1-0 fastball. How out in front he was, just kind of flailing away. And again, Caminero, he likes that fastball, and he likes him up in the strike zone.
One. We told you the numbers yesterday, but it bears repeating. He is slugging .667 on the fastball this year. Two on, 1 out for him. That was a non-fastball, and it's a foul ball. It's 2-2.
And Dillon gives him that little flash like that away. That's a slider that's well located, and now a knuckle curve to back it up, well located.
Those numbers make me ask you, okay, is it slider or curveball?
I know, they're so similar. They're just separated by a couple miles an hour.
It's a slider to get a ground ball to short for Torres. No double play. 6-4 on the fielder's choice. He went with the slider. He got the bouncing ball, and now it's up to Aranda.
You know, and that's something that should probably ask him when he makes the decision on when to throw the curveball and when to throw the slider. Just there's about 5 miles an hour different, but they have very, very similar shapes.
But we've seen Jack use them back-to-back together against right-handers.
Yeah. You know, and it's probably you throw a slider and they just saw it. So you don't want to go back and throw a slider again, so you slow it up just a little bit. So they think they see the spin, they think they know the speed, but they don't. It's right, they're right out in front of it, and then it leads to a ground ball.
That was a sinker to a lefty. A rare use for Jack there. Off away 2-0. Back-to-back fastballs to Aranda.
Remember, Aranda was striking out yesterday on those sliders that were down and in. Thinking it would set up really nice for Jack with either the slider or the knuckle curve going down and in. Once he gets ahead, he's falling behind 2-0. Oh.
Fastball strike.
Aranda raised his hand. He was close.
And he should have.
Yep. He did. He just kind of flinched. He brought it about halfway up and then put it right back down.
He almost became help me, Aranda.
I got that one too. Grew up with the Beach Boys.
Help me get that out of my heart.
You know.
2-2 on Aranda. Time called.
Two for two. I'm kind of happy.
On a heater. 2-2. Right there, strike three. He was not expecting the curveball, and it just dropped in to see what condition his condition was in.
Just the opposite to Valade. That one starts off. It's going to be off the plate. He gives up on it, and it keeps working right down the middle. Jack's through three.
We have the meat.
Head to Comerica Park this weekend to see Tigers take on the Mariners. 2025 ALDS rematch. You don't want to miss that. Tickets start at just $35. Visit tigers.com/tickets and get yours today. Deeper to the bullpen, Cam Boozer in his Rays debut after spending 24 with Boston, 25 with the White Sox. And he is on to face Zach McKinstry et al. Or both side windows pitching change.
They just recalled from AAA Durham on Sunday. Just the first stint with the Rays. Four-seam fastball, averages tick over 95. Also throws the sweeper cutter, mixes in an occasional change.
A 34-year-old left-hander gets a pop-up. Out number one as Fiducia puts it away, and we get a message from Tiger Law.
If you've been injured in a motorcycle crash, make Tiger Law your first call. Tiger Law. All we do is win. All we do is win.
Dan, do you have it in you today?
I could.
Second one?
Yep.
Yeah.
So if it stays like this, be singing in the 8th inning.
Very good. Strike one.
Oh, help me, Rhonda.
Wow. Some people at home may be listening to Sloop John B. and saying, this is the worst trip I've ever been on. It's a ball and a strike on Zach Short.
See how quick you come up with those. Just boom. Takes me 3 innings.
No, it doesn't. 1-1. Line drive, base hit. Zach Short pastes the ball in between Caminero and Williamson.
Boy, that's 2 really good swings from Zach Short. Doubled his first time up back in the second. And now blisters a breaking ball.
Here's Gleyber Torres. Short at first, 1 down. 3rd trip to the top of the order for the Tigers already. It's the 4th. Tigers' record for most hits before a first single in a game is 8. That got to 6 before the Torque base hit in the 3rd. Tigers had done it twice, once in 07 and once in 2010, where they had 8 extra base hits before the first single. One.
Steady diet of 4-seam fastballs here to Gleyber. Looking like asking him to see if he can catch up. Who's got that good 4-seam fastball, lively, little jump at the plate.
He's out of lovely Tacoma, Washington. He went to Fife High School. He's a free agent signee with the Rays this past January, last week of the month in January. He was traded by the Red Sox to the White Sox December 21st of 24 for a minor leaguer, a pitcher out of Venezuela named Yoiker Fajardo. 2-2. Way up into that new white roof. Middle of the diamond. Here comes Aranda, and that's going to end up down on the ground. But they do get the out at second base. So runner at first, 1 down. You're going to get an out pretty much no matter what there.
Yeah, that was up by that second set of rings, and I wonder if Fiducia didn't see it. I mean, because I lost sight of it, and it's kind of right in front of us.
So Torres at first, 2 down. Matt Vierling is the batter, and he takes a strike.
I think Gleyber was pointing to Zach Short that they didn't see it.
Yeah.
You know, like go. But I mean, I don't know how Zach Short can take off.
If you do and you get doubled off.
Yeah, exactly.
Sky to center, Mesa on the charge, and he is there to make the catch. That'll do it for the Tigers in the 4th. What a 5-0 lead stands. If you've played in one game for the Detroit Tigers, you could very easily be anointed without your knowledge Tiger of the Day. Let's find out who it is here today. It is Old Chuck, who had 9 plate appearances with the Tigers in 1961 and once wrestled an umpire to the ground after being ejected while managing in the minors. Chuck Cottier out of Grand Junction, Colorado, was ejected for wrestling an umpire to the ground. And he also was in a Richard Marx music video while he was the Cubs' third base coach. Are you wondering which Richard Marx music video it is? Do you want to know which song it is?
Sure.
Don't rush to the podium.
No, but I was just trying to think about him managing the Mariners. That was back in the mid-'80s.
They're kind of the lean years for the Mariners. But Take This Heart.
I was. You didn't.
No, you weren't.
I had just a little somebody popping in my head, and I was just going to spit it out. It's getting a little divine intervention, and you would have been.
You were looking at my computer.
You would have been blown away if I would have came up with that.
I would have been.
Doggone it. Oh.
So if you go watch it, Bob Uecker's in the video. Dennis Eckersley is purportedly in the video. It's a big baseball video. Here's a grounder to third base side and foul for Yandy Diaz. What's the closest you've ever come to being in a music video?
I mean, like a video for real?
Yeah.
That's zero.
No. The correct answer is that ad you've done for Detroit Sportsnet. Riley Green is in left. He says, "Get out of my way," and he makes the catch.
And years and years ago, we did one for Kroger. Actually,
did you?
Yeah. And there was a little thing we did with guitars.
Really?
Yeah, we did.
Really?
To Wild Thing. Yeah.
Did you make their hearts sing?
I don't know.
You make everything groovy at least?
Oh, wow. Yeah, that year probably. It was 84.
Look at the smile on his face. I would have pegged you more as like a trailer for sale or kind of guy.
I know those. I know those lyrics too. Roger Miller.
Roger Miller.
Yes. See.
Makes you king of the road.
No phone, no pool, no pets.
You would never go there because Petey couldn't come with you. You don't need the phone or the pool. You just need the pets. If I know you well enough. 1-1 misses. 2 balls and a strike on Palacios. Look out, second base. That's a base hit, but it also was playing freeze tag with Derek Thomas, the umpire, who, you know how Fred Flintstone starts his car and it takes a second for the thing to move? Watch here.
Kicking up dust. One of those ones you're looking at it, it's just eating you up like, whoa, got it.
He knew he had to go, but he didn't know how to go.
Which direction do I go?
Derek made it. He's like, ay. That was awesome. Oh, my goodness.
And his buddies are giving him a hard time.
Yeah, they are.
Now he's got to move into the infield.
Yeah, he does. He's just to the left to second now with Valade at the plate. I mean, if that ball chases him this time, he's going to go, you know what? We're going to have 2 umpires behind the plate for the rest of the game. Thank you. Foul back.
You know, and after that couple of batters where Jack was spraying the ball a little bit in between innings, I'm sure he and Chris Petter probably got together and just talked through some things. You have a little bit more time to talk through some things, and it seems like Jack is right back into his groove mechanically.
Into right center field it goes. Wenzel Perez over to cut it off and throw it in. It's not in time at second, though. Valade has a double, and the Rays are in business with 2 runners on and 1 out again.
The slider again stays up. up and out over the plate. Vilade can just kind of play with it a little bit and hammers it into right center. It's the only time any damage has been done is just when they've kind of just hung up over the plate just slightly. But when they're located, we showed that graphic earlier, when they're down right on those corners, that's where he's successful. But once it gets up there a little bit, those hitters can play with it.
First pitch, ball one to Mesa. Victor Mesa Jr. popped out to first in the second inning. That's a strike, and he does challenge.
Look good.
I thought so.
Yeah.
Is it or isn't it? It's brought to you by T-Mobile. It is a strike, and the whiplash effect of the ABS challenge system. He said.
You can see him, yeah. Like, oh, can't believe it.
Like somebody just rivered a 7.
Yeah, just stabbed you.
Fly ball foul left side by Mesa, 1-2. So now you're tiptoeing up to 70 pitches for Jack Flaherty. The hope would be that you could make it through something like 6. The most he's thrown in a game so far this year is 97. But again, you need to protect the win as well, and the Tigers are up 5-0 to this point. Wave and a miss on a curveball, and Jack takes care of Mesa, 2 down.
And that certainly helps. But yeah, you're right. It'll be right around 100. And yeah, you could stretch Jack as far as you want to, but it's just all about trying to win this game first, too. Boy, now here, just what a nice quick out.
Oh, Fiducia tried to.
Sure did.
Strike 1 to the only guy who's walked in the Rays lineup so far tonight. Hunter Fiducia out of lovely Lake Charles, Louisiana. Second and third, 2 down. Ball 1. And 2. All right, how about a breaking ball for strike 3?
Just thinking the same thing. Just thinking, how about the same knuckle curve that you just got Mesa with? See if he obliges and swings right over the top of it.
One, 2. There's a curveball that never had the plate.
No.
Fiducia's only slugging 182 on breaking balls this year. He has not had much success at all against breaking stuff. 2-2. Fastball gunned in there, strike 3, and he's going to challenge.
And he's got to lose. That ball looked good. They're going to be out of challenges.
You would imagine. Yes, right there. Good call, Dan. It's an ABS challenge presented by Figer Law. And all the Tigers do is win challenges tonight. 5-0 Tigers for Jack Flaherty to the 5th. Tigers have already scored 3 or more runs in the game, so tomorrow visit a participating Arby's location and get a free small order of curly fries. Dylan Dingler hit 2 homers yesterday. He's driven in a run here tonight. Tigers are up 5-0 on the Tampa Bay Rays. And the first pitch of the 5th inning. Cam Boozer ends up at the new stadium site for the Rays.
Just missed.
going to test the roof, too. Here we go again. Aranda says he's got it, and Aranda makes the catch. There's one away, and we get a message from the Southeast Michigan Ford dealers.
Now during employee pricing for everyone, get $10,002 in savings on the 2026 F-150 XLT 4x4. See your Southeast Michigan Ford dealer today.
With Logan Reaver around the ballpark, Dan Petrie, Jason Benetti, our entire crew, Jason Disick, Mark Isofano downstairs in the truck, and everybody watching wherever you might be. We're glad to have you along for the ride. I'm the kind of guy that likes when the Tigers score 15 runs in 2 games.
Yeah,
you that kind of guy?
Yeah, I am. I love it when they add on, too.
That is no fun. Riley has to cower out of the way.
Similar to that first pitch to Jahmai Jones.
Who is next? Are you anticipating our CNL Ward on deck hitter? Is that why you said Jahmai Jones? I know you love the folks at CNL Ward.
I just thinking about the one that went to the backstop. It was Dylan Dingler, not Jahmai Jones.
1-2 misses. But you know, I know you're always on the lookout for the CNL Ward on deck hitter. So there's your CNL Ward on deck hitter.
Well, I was wondering when it was going to pop its head up, you know, like.
There it is. Yeah. 2-2. That one traces him as well. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Tigers have not walked so far tonight. Foul ball.
Really stayed on that breaking ball nice. Saw it deep, and you could see where he was. That's why he's been so successful this year, shooting it back up the middle and the other way. Stayed on that one a long time. Had a couple of those sinkers in on his hands, and not easy to do, but he did on that last one, foul it off.
3-2, another high fly ball. This one back of second base, and it is caught by Williamson. There was a hesitant moment in that ball's flight when Williamson, it looked like, may have lost it briefly. Look at him shake his head.
Oh
there.
yeah, he's looking like I don't see it, and then finally picked it up. I was going to ask you, are you seeing all of these?
No.
I mean,
I see them off the bat, and then they disappear into the light.
I'm about 50-50.
Yes.
I saw that one, but the previous one that Dylan hit, I lost it.
The weirdest part of it is you see it for a while, then it's gone, and then I would imagine for Williamson that's what happened. It just appears back to you somewhere.
It's got to be like when you play it in the sun.
Yeah.
You just want it to come out of the sun. It's probably the same thing. Look, I know the general direction. I saw the trajectory off the bat. Now I've just got to stay with it and just hope it comes out of that ceiling right where I think it's going to be.
I mean, that's as uncomfortable as can be.
And I know it used to happen a lot at the Metrodome. The old Metrodome was the same way.
I was talking to Jason Beck before the game, the great MLB.com writer, and he mentioned yesterday before the game that Brandon Inge, among others, used to just immediately when they got to the Metrodome take a bunch of fly balls just to see what they were looking at, get used to it, get acclimated. 2-2 is strike 3. And a 1-2-3 inning for Cam Boozer for Tampa Bay. 5-zip. Your new home for Detroit sports is Detroit Sportsnet, presented by Bet365. Your subscription to stream the games all season long includes the Tigers plus the Red Wings starting this fall, subject to national exclusivities, as is Dan Petrie. Terms and conditions do apply, like Dan Petrie's friendship. Don't miss a minute of the action and subscribe by visiting tigers.com/Detroit Sportsnet. That's the opposite of true. You never have terms and conditions on your friendship.
You know, there's my name is not on that card. I don't.
I just read it verbatim. I don't know. I'm like Ron Burgundy.
I gotta stop. Yeah, tomorrow I want that read. I gotta see if my name's on there.
Okay. 2-0 on Ben Williamson. And there's a ground ball to shortstop. Zach is on it. He throws in one motion and loops it there for out number 1. A fine play from Zach Short. That's our Liberty Mutual field coverage, Dan.
Boy, aren't those fun to watch? I mean, right off the bat, and I think as a pitcher too, you're going, oh no, I don't want the leadoff guy to get on, and your shortstop makes a perfect play. Look at, yeah, Jack likes it. Absolutely. That first out is so big. What a fine play and a perfect throw from Zach Short. I love watching those. Seen Kevin McGonigal make plenty of those. Followed up Zach Short. I just love those plays.
Well, there's that moment where if you scan the crowd, there'd be a good chunk of the people in the audience with their mouths wide open as the ball flies to first base. Like, whoa.
Because it's one thing to get to it and set your body, but then to throw on the run like that and throw a perfect strike. I mean, that's the other thing. I mean, make that long of a throw with all your momentum going the other way.
One ball and 2 strikes on Simpson. Here's a look.
And they've got to be so much fun. I mean, first of all, you got to get to it, and then look at this throw. I mean, it's a perfect strike. This torque is just stretching right straight to where Zach Short's throw came from.
Fly ball left field. It's Riley Green. And it's out number 2.
Boy, there's 2 outs in a row from Chandler Simpson. Right, those little lazy fly balls out to left field. Again, that's exactly what you want to get from him.
You just take the speed totally out of play. It's not a factor at all night so far.
Yeah, if you hit that same ball to Zach Short, it's probably a base hit.
You're right.
You know?
Yep.
And that's what he's trying to do, is slash it over there. That got underneath it, because that was well off the plate. Breaking ball well off the plate, trying to slash it over that way, and got underneath it.
Caminero, who had 45 home runs last year. Here's a challenge coming from Dingler.
Catcher Jones in the pitch.
Let's see, is it 1-1 or 0-2? Oh, it's 0-2. Can't sneak one by Dylan Dingler.
It's Dylan Dingler. I love the way he does that, though. It just got pop. Like he's throwing it back. Pop.
0-2. If I were a catcher in Little League in the Detroit area, and the challenge system were part of our league, I wouldn't mimic Dylan Dingler's batting stance. I'd mimic his way he challenges.
The way that
he taps.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you were saying.
Yeah. Because he doesn't look back.
No.
He's still looking out at the pitcher and doink.
Well, it's beautiful technique. Watch.
Doink.
Bump. With the ball in hand.
Yeah.
2-2. I could watch that over and over again.
Just like I'm going to throw it back, and no, I'm not. Doink. And I'm going to be right.
Yep. 3-2 on Caminero.
Jack's getting up close to 90 pitches to get through this 5th inning. And he's gonna be really stretched to get through that 6th. Really want him to put him away here in the next 2 pitches.
Three and 2. That's a base hit to the right side. Caminero is on.
And that base hit just Even though there's 2 outs, it just continues to stretch the inning and get that pitch count to continue to climb for Jack. Yeah, you figured that somebody was going to have to stir down there to Jesus, who hasn't pitched in 10, 11 days.
Second base, playable for Torres. He settles and finishes the inning. Still 5-0.
In prizes.
Our Bet365 odds update is Spencer Torkelson, who's looking for his 3rd hit. He's got a double, he's got a single. And for the Rays, I know things were bad, but maybe now they're okay because suddenly Seymour is out of the bullpen. It's our Wallside Windows pitching change. He replaces Cam Boozer. He's the 4th pitcher for Kevin Cash tonight.
Well, Boozer did a nice job going a couple of innings, just allowing 1 hit, settled things down tremendously. See if the Tigers can't get going. Something against Seymour here, and his changeup.
He does like that changeup to right-handers especially. And the first one is a sweeper. Strike to Torque, who's hit 2 line drives to left so far tonight. Check it up here and not go. It's a ball and a strike on Torque. Former 2nd round pick Ian Seymour out of Virginia Tech down in Blacksburg, where Kerry Carpenter found his way to secondary education. It's a 1-hopper, 2 balls and a strike on Torque. The college baseball scene is of import to so many in the Tigers clubhouse. Casey Mize is a huge college baseball fan.
Boy, there you can see him watching the games over the weekend.
2-1. Wave and a miss. Torque from a powerhouse at Arizona State, but part of the reason college baseball is so fun is you can have a super regional that has Arkansas Little Rock against Troy. Now, Casey Mize didn't want the Auburn Tigers to lose to Milwaukee a 2nd time, and they didn't. They won last night to make sure they go to a super regional to take on Ole Miss. 2-2 to Torque. Check swing. 3-2. I still feel like we could use more of the college baseball atmosphere at Major League Baseball parks.
In what way?
Just in kind of the human energy, right? I know there's 162 games, so it's tough to do. As there's ball 4, Torque is on. Yeah, like that, right? Like that.
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
Yeah.
I mean, at West Virginia, when they advanced to the Super Regional, the entire stadium was singing Country Roads.
And that's why I asked, because I just look like the WBC, when you have that atmosphere where, you know, the country are singing their different songs. And
this is not a
beautiful
song. The song they're singing right now is not number 1. It hasn't been covered, but number 2 hasn't been sanctioned, and number 3 we don't approve of. Now this one's better.
Yeah, I got this one. I didn't hear the previous one.
Selective hearing. To left field, that is a base hit. Wenzel Perez is on. 2 on, nobody out here in the 6th for the Tigers.
Good job of fighting that one off. Right in on the hands and able to muscle it out to left field. Again, it just starts with that walk. Sweeper running in the hands, but it's up. Those are up. You get them up, you can if you're strong enough, muscle them out.
Now Zach McKinstry, who has shown maybe he'd bunt in a situation like this. And he flashes one there and takes ball 1 with the corner infielders crashing.
And I was thinking, well, gosh, they're up 5-0. Would he do it? And the answer is yes. And maybe you can just draw those corners in and slash it by one of them.
Well, he's up 2-0 now.
Yeah. You're thinking, you know, you're going to get a cookie. Plus, you're probably going to get a strike, so you can't bunt it. But, boy, you're going to get a cookie. Take a big swing at it.
2-1. A.J. Hinch has a smile on his face for an undisclosed reason currently.
Well, it just is good to see him smiling.
Yeah.
And a couple more runs, and I think that's what he's trying to achieve right here. Again, add-on runs.
Ooh, a strike. 2-2 on McKinstry. Maybe he's just playing 3D chess here, and he let that one go by so he can slash on 2-2 and drive in a run.
Yeah, they're still in on the corners, too. Now you see Aranda backing up at first base.
Caminero has not. That's strike 3 and a challenge coming from McKinstry.
The batter Jones in the pitch.
Let's see, is it strike 3 or ball 3? It's ball 3.
This is the ball before that speed down for me.
Good. That's one of those, you know, after 2 unsuccessful bunt attempts, you don't want to be called out on strikes.
Sets up a 3-2. That's ball 4. Great challenge from McKinstry. Bases loaded. Nobody out for the Tigers here in the 6th. And boy, if you can just add a couple of them, especially considering the bullpen state for the Tigers, you just give DeJesus so much more leeway. As you said, Dan, he hasn't pitched in a week and a half, and he's going to have to soak up some innings.
He does. There's some other arms, of course, Drew Anderson, but you want to get a couple out of DeJesus. He's got that starter length to him. Certainly is well rested, but you know, you just worry about how sharp he's going to be. And Zach Short here, don't forget, he's had 2 really good swings in tonight's game, double and a single, and he can be really selective here with the bases loaded, nobody out. You know, you got to figure you're going to get a good pitch to hit.
And on a day where, you know, frankly, everybody wondered if it would be them sent down after Gleyber got activated. Zach Short is 2 for 2.
Yep.
The infield is in, as you said, and the first one to him is swung through. Strike 1. I'm not saying he thought or anybody thought it, but when somebody's being activated, that clubhouse goes through all the different permutations. Everybody does in their head.
You know they do. Hey, is it me? Well, I've done this.
Especially because Zach Short has lived the DFA life.
Yes.
For the balance of his Major League Baseball career.
Already for this organization earlier, just a couple weeks ago. Now just get it to the outfield. He's done it. He did it in Chicago. Big sacrifice fly. Just shorten it up here a little bit and just hit something to that outfield.
We'll take here. It's a ball and 2 strikes. The Rays, remember, are out of challenges just in case it comes up. Fouled away a little bit behind the fastball.
Yeah, and that might be just Zach Short thinking about that changeup. You stay in there and fight that fastball off until you get that changeup. Generally, that's a pretty good pitch that you can get underneath. You're always playing in the emotions of the hitter, trying to come through with a big hit with the bases loaded. That's why you go to that changeup.
Now 3-2. Zach's all the way back to a full count from down 0-2. Three-two coming. He hits a high fly ball in the air for left center field. This is playable. It will get a run home. Tork's on his way to the dish, and everybody moves up a base, even Zach McKinstry. It's 6-0. And this is the kind of pedal to the floor the Tigers have shown when they've played great baseball with this group.
You know, good for Zach Short, working that back to a 3-2 count, knowing that he still is going to get a good pitch with the bases loaded, and doesn't try to do too much, just knows he has to drive the outfield, which he does. And not much that Mesa didn't. He threw it right to the cutoff, man. It's just the aggressive base running. I mean, he could have airmailed it directly to second base, but, you know, threw it right to the cutoff man. And that's what I think Zach McKinstry says. Well, you know what? I'll just scoot right into second.
They're going to intentionally walk Gleyber Torres here.
Wow.
That's interesting.
Yeah, when you're kind of all over the place, now you're going to load the bases up again.
Our Miller Lite moment started this whole deal tonight. It was the 5th pitch of the game, and Gleyber Torres hit his 5th career leadoff home run.
Well, just if you're Matt Vierling, again, who's an experienced hitter, he's in the same exact position as Zach Short. Knows that he's going to get a good pitch. He sees that one and just says, you know what, I don't like that. That's right on the borderline. I'm not going to swing at that.
No need to.
No. You know, I still think I'm going to get a good one.
Behind the change, yeah, 0-2. So now he's exactly where Zach Short was. Bases loaded, 0-2. Two-strike pitch. He didn't want to chance it.
Nope.
Just clicks it foul.
Yeah, kind of that emergency swing. Just right there on the inside edge, and just as good piece of, just a good job of just getting a piece.
Oh, 2. Into left field in the air and falling quickly and smashed down into the glove of Simpson. Here comes Perez. He dives home, and the Tigers pick up one more. Simpson just barely caught that before he trapped it. It is 7-0 Tigers on a couple of sac flies.
Boy, Matt Vierling, a good job. I didn't think it was going to be that close. After diving and catching it, you know, and then Wenzel, because Simpson wasn't going to throw it home at first. I don't know. Wenzel just was a little bit late getting there. I think he was just looking at throwing the ball into second base, and then at last split second saw Wenzel, and he says, hey, wait a minute, I got a shot here.
Yeah, on a dive like that, the fielder's got to remember that the runner might be a little bit confused or have to hold up as well. So the Tigers pick up a second run on a second sac fly. Yeah, he had to get back to the bag.
He did. And I don't know if he heard, you know, Joey saying something over to McKinstry, you know, because he was waving his arm, and so that's when, you know, Wenzel decided to go down the line.
Here we go, another pop-up. Right side, Palacios makes the catch. Tigers tie a major league record with 2 sacrifice flies in an inning. And Matt Vierling is ecstatic.
National grade.
Be at Comerica Park on Friday when your Tigers take on the Seattle Mariners. Be one of the first through the gates, and you'll receive a printed sun hat presented by National Coney Island. It's the giveaway even Jason Benetti's talking about. Visit tigers.com/giveaways to learn more.
Just because I did it doesn't make it right.
No, you're right.
Jack Flaherty stays in, and he's going to try and get through this 6th inning. But that is a nice sun hat, I got to say.
It looks really good. Like I said, I've had my eyes on them since the that promotion first started. There's going to be so many fans at that game, I may not get one, though.
Oh, we'll get you one.
Oh, I mean, no, it's a big series against the Mariners. Good ball club. Knock the Tigers out.
It's ball 3. It's not exactly where Jack wanted to be or close to it. In the first batter of kind of right at the edge. Am I going to be able to finish this inning or not? DeJesus has been ready for a while. There's a left-hander next, and that's ball 4 to Yandy Diaz. And here comes A.J. Hinch.
Yeah, you know that he doesn't want to get too deep into the inning, but he wanted Jack to at least pitch to Yandy Diaz.
It's a walk. It's Palacios scheduled next. DeJesus coming in. Jack leaves with a 7-0 lead.
Protection.
Tigers baseball on Detroit Sportsnet is brought to you by Wallside Windows, local and family owned, celebrating 82 years as Michigan's leader in replacement windows. By your Metro Detroit Buick GMC dealers, and by Figer Law. All we do is win. Raymond, Stinger, and DJ Kitty are running. Oh boy!
Wow.
Oh, that's unacceptable.
Checked him into the boards.
That's a major. It's a 5-minute major.
Check from behind, huh?
Yeah, you don't like that.
No.
John Cooper would send you to the AHL for that. Here's Palacios. First pitch fouled away.
I saw some rough exhibition games this past year.
Did you?
Oh yeah, between the Rays and the Panthers. Yeah, there was some of that going on right there.
Wallside Windows pitching changes. DeJesus out of the bullpen. Okay, he's staked to a 7-0 lead. He hasn't thrown in a week and a half. And we'll see what he's got in store with Diaz at first. It's a ground ball. It's rolling to second. Torres the flip. Short the turn, and the pick on the back end by Torque. Neatly done by the Tigers to turn 2.
Boy, just exactly what we saw last night from Hao-Yu Lee. Gleyber Torres, who took his spot on the roster, comes up with a ground ball, flips the glove. Zach Short with a good arm. Spencer Torkelson with the scoop. And Emmanuel DeJesus comes in and gets the big double play. You want to think that doesn't send some confidence into him after not pitching since Friday night in Baltimore.
Oh, that's a road trip ago. First pitch. Ball 1 to Ryan Valade. Fouled away, ball and a strike.
And if you're DeJesus, the only thing you can do is continue to throw your flat ground all during that area, and then they'll have those brief little side sessions. They will throw to a catcher, but they're very abbreviated. You know, it's not like a starter throwing in between starts where they can, work on some things. It may be maybe 15 pitches because they may be in that game that night. But before the game, they can still go out there, throw to a catcher, simulate at least trying to be in a game.
Well,
no rust there.
Inning over. DeJesus, a double play and a punch.
I'm saving.
Get the most out of your summer with our MV3 pack. From marquee matchups with the Yankees and Dodgers to fan appreciation weekend against the Pirates. This package delivers some of the season's top games all in one, starting at just $79. No better value out there. Go to tigers.com/MV3 to learn more. Riley Green is the batter to lead off the 7th inning. First pitch, he slugs it high in the air down the right field line. Toward the pole it goes, and that ball is fair. Fair and gone for Riley Green. He served it up to the pole, and the Tigers make it 8-love. Florida man homers in Florida again.
You think he likes hitting in this ballpark? I would say yes. And he's also strong too. thinking it might have gotten in on him just a little bit. But he's so strong that he's able to muscle it out. Looked like it was just going to hit the pole just over the fence. My goodness.
And that just barely got out of here to make it 8-0. And this ball is blasted deep left, but not enough. Jahmai Jones left it just short and one away.
Well, that reaction of Ryan Vilade out in right field was kind of like Jackson Holliday's home run and Riley Green's reaction down the left field line. They don't know where it is, if it bounced off the fence.
Yep.
And they're going to play it as if it's a double. They don't know where it is. They're right there.
Riley's like, I didn't even know.
Yeah. I mean, he doesn't know where it is, and then he hears it hit, and he gets up. Where is it? Wait a minute, I got to get it. I got to get it in. Then he sees it, and then he realizes, oops, that's a home run.
Oops, that's a home run. That's the way these last 2 days have gone.
Yes. Dan Merzel was calling that right away, too. He was right out there. Yeah.
He was all over it. You know, this building, it opened in 1990. And one of the biggest events it ever held, other than the Rays' that improbable run in 2008 to go to the World Series, was the 1999 Final Four. You know, Jim Calhoun and UConn became a dynasty as there's strike 3, 2 down. But their first ever championship was against the Duke Blue Devils here in this ballpark. So UConn and Jim Calhoun won its first ever title. It was a big upset. You remember? I mean, when UConn came in here, people were like, you know, it's the same kind of thing like in 1992. You're going to go to Buffalo with Bernie Parmalee. It was that kind of upset.
I was just thinking about how loud it probably was in here.
Oh my goodness.
You know, when they're adding the stands and the bleachers and everything for the basketball court, I'll bet you it was some kind of loud.
I mean, think about that Duke team. Elton Brand, Shane Battier, Trajan Langdon, tremendous shooter. UConn 34-2. Richard Hamilton, Khalid El-Amin. A big day for Rip Hamilton. Fly ball center field, and Mesa is back on it. He makes the catch. But the Tigers add on at the Figer Law 7th inning stretch by that much.
In our Comerica Bank summary, I did a side quest here today where we showcase the things very much off the beaten path in the cities we travel to. Today, I went to the world's largest shuffleboard club, a.k.a. the Wimbledon of Shuffleboard. It opened in 1924, 76 courts to its name. When it's at its peak, it had over 5,000 members. After World War II, it has dwindled down over the years, still just under 3,000. If you're a member, you can play from 5 a.m. to midnight if you want. They also host weddings and baby showers, and the part I found most interesting, that trophy you saw right there, they give to the champions after this challenge.
We have a challenge, not of your report, of the ball. It's a strike. Dingler's right again. Continue.
They're like, Logan, please stop. But the
no, it's fascinating. I love it.
The trophy is called the Peligator Trophy. So Napoleon Dynamite fans, they might have the Liger, but the folks over at the Shuffleboard Club, they got the Peligator.
Did you play?
I did play. Not well at all. To the point where the woman running the thing was like, that's close, for about half an hour.
Oh, that's good. Did you play against anybody, or did you just shuffle yourself?
Well, here's the funny part. So my aunt and uncle live here, and so they're like, hey, do you want to get lunch today? I'm like, I kind of had this plan. I was sorting through, but I'd love to also get lunch. And so before lunch, we all went together. So imagine there, I didn't tell them where we were going also. So like, they pulled up and I'm like, let's go shuffleboarding.
Here's a pop-up, left side of the infield. Zach Short is there to make the catch. So you basically kidnapped your family, is what I'm gathering here.
But
they play
picked
as well?
me up. What would be the term for that? What is like, when they're
reverse kidnapping.
To go shuffleboarding of all things. I got some stickers too if you guys want them. It's the Peligator.
Dan is Dan looks overwhelmed with excitement.
No, the peligator, I saw that. It was a pelican and an alligator. I got that much out of it. It's like the Stanley Cup a little bit.
But better.
There's a fly ball center field better. Veerling makes the catch and 2 away.
No, you get to write your name on it if you win that trophy. Is that, I saw there's a list of
there was actually
names.
a woman in the 60s. I think her name was May Hall from like 1960 to like 1972. It's just her name. That's on the other trophy, I should add. But yeah, so there's legends around those parts. But that's the thing. You can go at 5 a.m. until midnight if you really, really loved shuffleboard. Like
who's in that
belief.
picture? Is that Roger Sterling from Mad Men?
Yes, he loved shuffleboard as
big,
documented.
Big shuffleboard guy at Sterling Cooper. Where'd you get that picture?
They're celebrating 5,000.
That's what investigative journalism is. I was like, I need a photo from that era.
Did they ask you to wear white gloves while you were shuffleboarding? This is amazing. Where did you find this? Did you Google weirdest thing in Tampa?
Oh, that's going to get even weirder now. So there's an executive director. Her name was Amy. She got called in. She went to the gym before meeting me. So she was like off hours, and so she like showed up in her gym clothes, like kind of sweaty, just like, what am I doing here? This is for the Tigers, the Detroit Tigers? I'm like, yeah. And then she showed me how to play shuffleboard.
That didn't answer my question of how you found it.
She gave me the photo, essentially.
No, I mean the place.
Oh, so there's a great website called Atlas Obscure that kind of points out, you know, off the beaten path sort of things in each city.
I am sad to say we have to close this conversation because there are so many follow-ups. It's a 1, 2, 3, 7th. We'll shuffle on to the 8th.
Do is win.
Let's take a look at the upcoming schedule brought to you by Bet365. Tigers will play the Mariners and Twins at home, and then we'll be in Cleveland and Houston, where Logan will be reporting from the world's largest asparagus spear. Brian Baker is out of the Tampa Bay bullpen. He throws strike 1 to Zach McKinstry.
What do you think Cleveland's got for us?
I don't know. It could be in Cleveland or Houston.
So you guys
world's widest pair of bifocals is where Logan will do the open from. In the air center field, that is playable for Victor Mesa Jr.
I got you guys stickers if you want them, by the way.
You know, we heard. Yep. Petrie nearly came running downstairs to take the stickers off your hand in the break, but we told him, Dan, it's only a 2-minute timeout.
I got all 3. I'm going to stop crying.
Jeez.
We can show them to it.
You got it. It's so small.
Yeah, those are.
Is that the peligator?
Okay, stop being so eager.
It'll go good with the Grayson shirt.
Yes.
We'll call this one the peligator.
0-1 is inside. It's a ball and a strike from Baker to short. Dan, why don't you go with Logan next time?
Yeah, come on. We need
shuffle together.
3,000 members. Let's get some more.
Wow. Wow. He saw the world's largest traffic cone, or the world's most obscure traffic cone in Chicago.
I'm just trying to see how weird we can get, man. Let's really push it.
It's a high bar.
I think I was on that trip and just been yanked off of it.
Yeah, that's right. 1-2. That just misses. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Rays don't have any challenges left. And so 2-2 on Zach Short. Oh, that was a nice interlude. It's nice to laugh again. 2-2 coming. On the ground, off the mound to second base. And Palacios makes the play. Let's get a word from the world's largest rally house, Michigan.
The season starts at Rally House. From jerseys and hats to tumblers for game day, it's where outrageous selection meets every fan's style.
2 down, 8th inning here on Lou Gehrig Day in Major League Baseball. And just a very quick tip of the cap to our pal John Bugshambi, who is one of the best play-by-play announcers in this sport in college basketball. He is a phenomenal voice of sports across the world. And Boog spends so much of his time on the day-to-day. And creates auction items everywhere across Major League Baseball and sent us the shirts that we have and AJ Hinch the shirt that he has and asked so many people to post videos, and everybody's going to say yes because we love you, Boog. He is a truly generous human being. And he sent us this shirt. It says End ALS. And we were talking to AJ Hinch about Boog and what he has meant to the game of baseball and to this cause. And AJ just said before the game, he was like, look, Boog spends so much of his time, so much of his heart on making sure that people are aware of how insidious ALS is. And, you know, we've gotten to know ALS through baseball with Lou Gehrig and everything that happened with Lou and him being kind of the face of the disease. But our pal Sarah Langs, who deals with ALS, there's a story about Sarah that Jake Mintz wrote today where Sarah just said, you know what, stats aren't good because somebody with ALS gave them to you. Stats are good because they're good, and she doesn't want any more attention for having ALS. She wants to be known for her mind, and she deserves that. She also is a kind, gentle, generous soul. She texts us during Tigers games all the time with different nuggets and stats. And well, Sarah, for you, this has been a wee for the Tigers to go up 8-0.
Her Car Shield, protection when it counts.
You may notice the watch on the left arm of AJ Hinch that he's showing off, and AJ is wonderful about using his platform for causes. And that watch is a customized watch that somewhere between 8 to 10 managers around Major League Baseball have on today, and there is inside the watch sort of an embossment of Lou Gehrig. It's a remembrance of Lou and the day as well, and you see the special watch that was made for so many of the managers in crystal there across Major League Baseball, and it's a really nice touch to commemorate a gentleman whose legacy should be that streak of games, 2,100 plus games that he played in consecutively. But even better for humanity, he gave a reason and a voice and an icon to a disease that we still have not eradicated. And so whatever you can give, and I know there are a lot of people who've been touched by ALS who are watching this telecast, and AJ Hinch in the dugout has been touched by it as well. One of his good friends, Chris Snow, passed away a couple of years ago because of ALS. But Dan, we were talking about Sarah Langs before the break, one of the sharpest people in all of Major League Baseball.
Yeah, and you know, I have never met Sarah in person, but she spent over 2 hours with me. I wanted to learn how to use Baseball Savant a lot better, and so we did a call together, she and Tom Tango, who was very instrumental in developing the site. And she had never met me before, and I mean 2 hours in trying to walk me through, you know, not being the most computer savvy person, and I wanted to learn it a lot better. And she spent all this time, and I'm taking notes and everything. Not a half an hour, not an hour, 2 hours she spent with me, and I've never ever forgotten that, Sarah. And I always try to wish her she just had a birthday, you know, and I always try to email her on her birthday, because just so special that she would do that for someone that she's never ever met. That just tells you what kind of person Sarah Langs is.
Yeah, and you know, she is the type of person who you meet her and you just go, I think I may have just met one of the nicest people on the planet. Truly. That is not surprising at all that she would do that.
And that's the way she came across on the phone with me.
1-2 on a Ronda. That was fouled away to the left-hand side, arching toward foul territory, and it does go to the seats there. If you're so inclined, Boog and I have combined for an auction item. You can go to Cubs.com/ALS auctions. It's in conjunction with the team that he calls games for, the Chicago Cubs. Boog and I have a project called Dinner with Us, where you can bid on having dinner with us if you're so inclined, or you can just bid on it so you can meet up with us and say, I don't like either of you calling games. It's for a good cause, whatever you want to use it for.
It is, and Emmanuel De Jesus is a good cause for the Tigers right now.
Yeah, he is.
Arby's, we have the meat.
Ben Williamson is on the mound. He used to play infield. Now he's just an infielder we used to know. He is on to throw, and I would wait a little bit for the ball to arrive. It's a tough night for the Rays, and Williamson on 2-0 has that ball hammered to third. Caminero right at the line, sings it on to first and gets the out on Vierling, who is a hard luck first out.
Look, Caminero comes up, but I mean, look at Caminero though, still playing extremely hard for an infielder on the mound. Comes up, just gets to the ball, and then kind of stumbles. But still, I mean, that's impressive, just to go after and play the ball like that, go after that really, really hard.
Yeah, Williamson, I mean, Williamson's trying to lower his ERA here as Caminero has this one. Dingler is out, 2 away. Ben Williamson came in April the 21st with a lead at 11-2 in the top of the 9th inning, and he gave up a home run to Ellie De La Cruz. So that'll happen.
Did he finish the inning?
He did finish the inning. I'm sorry, they were down 11-2.
Oh, okay.
I read it wrong. I was going to say that's not legal. You have to be up 10 in the 9th inning.
Yeah,
I misread that.
I think that they must have changed, because I believe Harold Castro at one point came in with the Tigers winning big.
Yeah, so you can still, but it's got to be the 9th inning, and you have to be up 10.
Yeah, I mean, it was Tigers were killing them, and he came in and finished the game.
That could have been a strike there. It was not called a strike, and Riley Green will watch this 3-0. I was going to ask you if he'd 3-0 swing, but
yeah, I was going to say that Riley just put it right on his shoulder.
That's ball 4. Let's get a message from Tiger Law.
If you've been injured in an auto accident, make Tiger Law your first call. Tiger Law. All we do is win. All we do is win.
Twice, Ben Williamson has thrown. Twice he's done it in back of Steven Matz, and 3 times tonight he's gotten outs at third base.
Boy, how about Caminero of the inning? 2 assists and a putout. That ball was finding him.
Call Sam.
Manuel De Jesus is looking for his very first major league save. It would be a 3-inning save, and he will face Dunn first. There is strike 1 to Oliver Dunn, who came in to play defense with Williamson moving to the mound. Tigers took it to the Rays from Jump Street today. First 6 hits were extra base hits, and De Jesus is 2 strikes ahead of Dunn.
And that's all he's done. De Jesus has come in and just thrown strikes. And you weren't sure just how rusty he'd be, but man, is he filling up the strike zone and getting much needed outs. 24 pitches, 20 strikes.
Yeah, I know the ERA was 5.91, and he has not thrown nearly as well as he did in the World Baseball Classic. But the expected ERA coming into today was well below that at 4.52. So there's a suggestion that maybe there's some correction on the horizon, as this is popped up foul just to our right. That said, I know fans don't want to live in the expected ERA quagmire, because you can then start guessing. But there's a reason we've created those stats, and it's to see possibly who might see some sunshine slipping through the clouds at some point. It's 2-2 on Dunn.
Well, the numbers just didn't really make sense either, because left-handers were kind of feasting on De Jesus, and you're like, that shouldn't be that way. Where he's got the real good changeup to get right-handers out with, so you know that he's going to eventually figure out a way to get lefties out.
This is in there, 3-2, but you need him to get 3 outs here.
And you want him to get 3 outs here, because what, a 4-inning save.
3-2. Yeah, the requirement is 3. He would go 4 if he finished
and
the game.
That's huge for the Tiger bullpen. if they don't have to even get anybody up. So you got 2 pitchers and everybody rests and he just finishes out because, I mean, that's a big deal. Drew Anderson's gotten a three inning save.
There's strike 3, 1 away. Dunn is out. Tigers baseball on Detroit Sportsnet is brought to you by Chili's Big Crispy 3 for Me, the best $10.99 you can eat. By your local Toyota dealer. For all Toyota offers, visit Toyota.com. And by Menards. Save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. There's the Ray tank out there in right center field.
Stay in.
Popped up first base side. Torque is over. It will stay in. Dan had listened to you.
Yeah, these are just big deals. I mean, here's a guy that we talked about hadn't pitched since Friday in Baltimore, and for him to have the chance to go 4 innings, pick up a save, but more importantly, a big shutout 8-0 win, and to walk off and shake everybody's hand, it's going to be a great feeling for DeJesus.
Two out, Ryan Vallee. Ball 1 to Vallee, who doubled back in the 4th twice in 2 innings. The Rays got 2 on before the 2nd out. It was 2 on, nobody out in the 3rd, 2 on, 1 out in the 4th, and they could not score against Jack Flaherty, who went 5 scoreless tonight.
But just love the early runs again, 2 nights in a row. Just finish this game off and get ready for that big game tomorrow.
1-1. Wave and a miss on a fastball tucked inside. 1-2 on Vallee.
Boy, had Vallee all tied up. And good way to end this game. Little exclamation point with a strikeout right here to end it.
There you go. DeJesus comes up with the save in 4 innings. He combines with Jack Flaherty for a shutout and a breakout offensive performance. 18 runs in the last 2 days, and the Tigers are the first team in 7 series to win a series at Tropicana Field.
Boy, and I just look at DeJesus and just how happy he is, waiting for everybody to come in. Look at Dylan Dingler saying, yep, I know it's been a long time, but man, did you do a job. Welcome back, Gleyber Torres, getting it started and got a chance to sweep tomorrow afternoon.
And that is what we will see at 1:10 tomorrow if the Tigers can come up with the road sweep. 2 in a row for the Tigers. 8-0 the final score. Logan and Dan will have your Cure Auto postgame coming up after this from Tampa. 8-0 your final score. Tigers win.